Welcome back to the channel. This is Angelo Christmas and me documenting my journey to $20,000 per month as a high ticket closer. So, in the last video, I spoke about how I left my previous offer and I burnt about to go all in on finding a better offer that's more aligned with me. And I actually gave myself 10 days to find a new offer. And I put that in a group in the mentorship I'm in to make it public to hold myself more accountable. I didn't actually find an offer in 10 days, but I actually did it on the 11th day. So one day late. But as they say, better late than never, right? But yeah, I managed to land a trading offer, which is what I wanted to sell because I have experience with trading. I'm passionate about trading, and it's something I do plan on getting back into in the mid to long future, I would say. So I'm really excited to be on a trading offer now because that's more aligned with my long term goals and what I want to do in the long term. So I'm extremely excited to start helping people, you know, achieve their trading goals and become successful now. So I've pretty much completed the onboarding process. I haven't yet taken any calls, but I did set my calendar availability and I am live. I got about two calls booked in already, and I actually had a call booked in today, but the guy canceled, so I haven't taken any yet. But I'm excited to take my first calls for this offer. One thing I'm also excited about is the ticket price because on the previous offer I was on, which is a fitness offer, the average order value from the deals I closed was $2,000, which means that the average amount I'd make on a sale was $200 commission. However, with this offer, since it's obviously helping people achieve their financial goals, they're getting a big ROI on that investment. It obviously means that the investment for the program is much higher. So, compared to me selling mainly $2,000 packages like I was in my previous offer, if I kept doing that, I would have needed to do a lot of volume to make to hit the goals I wanted to make, to hit the goals I want to achieve, right? But with this offer, the main package that I'm going to be pitching is $12,000, and the downsell offer is $8,000. There is another low ticket offer for $3,000, but that's not really a low ticket option. That's more for like really experienced traders that don't need as much support. So for someone that can't really afford it, we can't sell that to them. So basically, the average sales would gonna be like pretty much $10,000, right? Because it's probably much either gonna be $8,000 sale or $12,000 sale, right? In the middle, $10,000 average, which means that my average commission per sale is gonna be like $1,000, which is insane, and it's not something I'm used to, right? Because like I mentioned, I'm used to selling mainly $2,000, $3,000, sometimes $4,000 packages and averaging $200 commission per sale. Now I'm going to be averaging like $1,000 per sale. Hopefully more on the high end, right? Hopefully I sell more 12K packages than I do 8. That'll be like $1,200 in commission, which is pretty insane, especially someone like me that lives in a third world country. I'm from South Africa. One sale is pretty much covering my living expenses for the month, and then after that it's pretty much just straight profit, which is really something I'm excited about. One downside to the offer though, there's not a lot of volume like I was used to. Like I was used to taking 6, 7, 8, 9 calls a day. With this offer, they're not really trying to scale it very high. So average calls per day would probably be anywhere between like 3 to 5 on the high end, maybe 6. However, that's okay because, like I said, one sale is going to be like between $8,000 to $12,000. So even if I'm just getting at least one sale a day, even one sale every other day, I can still hit my goals of making $20,000 per month, which is insane because last month the top closer on the team made like $13,000 and he was only taking like 2 or 3 calls a day because he does this part time. So for now I need to take only 2 calls a day while I'm onboarding. Once they see that I'm closing deals, obviously they're gonna say I can open up my calendar more, and from there I'm off to the races at that point. But even at that point, it's not like I can take like 7, 8, 9, 10 calls a day, which is what I wanted to do. Because I'm a fucking workhorse. Like if I can, I want to max out and get as much opportunity as I can. But at the same time, like I said before, the offer, they're not actively trying to scale like to a high amount because the media buyers, they work on multiple different offers, so they're sort of capping this offer at a certain amount so that they're not over leveraging on one offer and all their eggs are not in one basket. That's what the sales manager told me. But I'm okay with that because even with that in place, I can still hit my own goals of hitting $20,000 per month. I just got to make sure the calls I am taking, I'm doing my best. I'm sticking to my process. I'm not being attached to the outcome. And I know that I'm going to crush it there because the top closer, I did watch one of his calls. Good closer, but to be honest, it's nothing out of this world. And he was able to make $13,000 on just taking like 2 calls a day, 3 calls a day, not even working weekends, which is something I'm going to do. I'm going to work weekends. So, in terms of volume, I'm going to outperform everyone there. And then it's just a matter of outperforming in terms of close rate and sales, cash collected. And my goal is to be the top closer on the team as well, which is something I know I can do. And I'm confident in doing that. This month I don't have any goals because as of making this video, it's the 17th of June now. And like I said, I haven't yet taken any calls. I'm not really sure in terms of how many calls I'm going to be expecting to take on a daily basis. So, I don't want to make unrealistic goals. So for now, I'm just going to set my availability, see how many calls I take, and the calls I do take, I'm gonna just do my best, show up as best as I can, be there to help the prospects, be there to lead, to serve them, and obviously get help change lives in the process and get paid very well in the process of doing that too. So that's where we're at the moment. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I'm happy I'm on this offer now, even though the lead flow is not great. Like even though I'm not taking like 7 to 10 calls a day, like I said, I'm okay with that, right? Because at the end of the day, there's no point taking 10 calls a day, and working my ass off if I can hit my goal taking 2 calls a day, 3 calls a day, 4 calls a day. And obviously, because the vehicle I'm in now is much more higher leverage, right? Because obviously, this when I do close a deal, it's not going to just be $2,000 and I make $200. It's going to be ideally $12,000 sale and I make $1,200 in commission. One thing that's also nice, they got like a nice little incentive on this offer. The first 2 weeks of the month and last 2 weeks of the month, if you bring in $50,000 in cash collected, you get an additional $150 bonus, which is something nice, something I want to be aiming for and shooting for. Even for these last 2 weeks, I'm going to try to get it. But obviously, call volume is very, very low now. So, but even that, like, that's like 4 or 5 sales and you hit that, So, yeah, really excited to. I'm also looking forward to seeing how I perform, especially at the start because I'm used to selling fitness, so the conversation is going to be a bit different because it's no longer about how the extra weight is impacting them, and it's more so about a financial conversation in terms of how them not being where they want to be financially is affecting them in their life and the people around them. So it's gonna be a short learning curve. I feel I'm not gonna be crushing it straight out the gate. Well, I can, and I know I will do very good straight out the gate, but I won't be performing 10 out of 10 straight out the gate. I guess I don't want to say that because it's kind of like I'm limiting myself, but what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be new territory for me because I'm mainly used to selling fitness. It's a bit of a different conversation, but I'm excited for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not scared about it being uncomfortable for the first few calls, first 10 calls or so, because I know that I will get it down and start fucking crushing it, and I know that next month I can definitely hit 20K per month. I just gotta hope that obviously can take a good amount of calls so that I can logically make $20,000 per month. I would hate to be in a position where I'm closing deals, I'm doing good, but there's just not enough volume for me to hit my goals, which I don't think will happen, especially once the offer owners see that I'm performing. I know that they would probably prioritize me and give me more calls if I want to take more calls because obviously I'm going to be making the company more money. So that's where we're at the moment. And one thing also I wanted to say is that, aside from just having a good opportunity in terms of income potential, the offer itself is really good. Like, I'm really impressed with the influencer I'm working with and the business that I'm selling for because with everything they have in place, it's not just selling a dream. They actually do get results, and they get really good results for their clients. And everything is tracked. Everything is basically logged. From before they take a trade to after they take a trade, everything is shared. They're very transparent, and they basically print money. So that gives me a huge sense of peace of mind, I guess, to know that people are actually getting results with this. That's gonna help with my conviction as well when I'm on calls. Because I know firsthand in trading how it can be. Sometimes there's a lot of people out there that sell courses and mentorships, but they don't actually make money with trading. But I know from everything I've seen and having experience with trading, I can tell the difference when someone, knows what they're doing and actually getting results for them and their clients. So that's one thing I'm really happy about. So overall, the offer is like an 8 out of 10. The only difference why I'm saying it's not a 10 out of 10 is the lead flow. But like I said, that might not be an issue. Like if I can still hit my goals and take in less calls, that's okay with me. Might free up my time to start getting back into trading again. So that's something might work out perfectly, you know, because at the moment I didn't want to get back into trading until I hit my sales goals because I don't want to split my focus, especially if I need to take a lot of calls. Like I don't want to split my focus and then end up doing average in sales, doing average in trading and not getting anywhere, right? I wanted to commit full focus to closing and sales, hit my sales goals before actually getting into trading. However, if I'm only taking like 2 or 3 calls a day and I'm still hitting my sales goals, I'm making 10, 15, $20,000 per month, I'm gonna have a lot more time to still dabble in trading without my focus being split from sales. So excited for the future, really excited, really proud of the progress I've made and how far I've came. It's been a wild journey. It's been a challenging journey, a scary journey as well. But I never let those fears and those limitations in my head hold me back from taking action and believing in myself. And overall, I'm really proud of everything I've achieved so far, and I can't wait to see how the next half of this year plays out. It's going to be truly life changing for me. Like I said, I can literally cover my expenses with one sale at this new company. So just imagine, like, let's say I get like 20 sales next month. Literally 19 of those sales is just pure profit, which is lovely. I'm excited for the future to play out. I'm happy to be documenting the journey here on YouTube so that other people can see, You know, that's a big goal of mine, is just to be a source of inspiration, help motivate people and inspire them to actually take action and go after what they want in life. Because we life is short. Life is very short. So a big part of me doing this is to help people realize that there's no point settling for a life that you're not happy with deep down inside. you know go after what you want, because at the end of the day, when you're laying on your deathbed and you look back at life, you can either be proud that you gave your life your everything, and worked hard to achieve your goals and work towards becoming a better person, becoming the best version of yourself. And that's going to be hard now in the short term, because you're going to be living with that pain of trying new things, failing, succeeding, overcoming challenges. It's going to be painful in the moment, but like they say, the f- the only way to the way to heaven is through hell, and the way to hell is through heaven. Meaning that if you try to get to heaven, it's going to feel like you're going through hell, because it's going to be so hard, it's going to be so painful. You're going to suffer, you're going to experience doubt, you're going to experience fear, you're going to think you're not good enough, you're going to think you're a failure, you're going to think that you're not cut out for this, right? You're going to feel like you're in hell, because I know, because I've been through that. But on the other side of that is you actually getting to heaven, you actually becoming the man you want to be, the man that you know you are deep down inside. So you can either choose to do that, or you can choose to go to heaven now but end up in hell, because you're choosing the easy way out for short-term gratification, where you just want to have fun, you just want to live a life where you're not fulfilled. You're just scrolling on social media, partying, drinking, doing drugs, living in a life you're telling yourself you're actually happy with, but deep down inside, you're not happy with that life. And you're going through heaven now, but in the long term, when you look back at life and you're on your deathbed, you're going to feel that regret, you're going to feel that shame, knowing that you could have had more if you just if you just worked hard. Not even work hard, like just understand what you want in your life, what you want out of your life, and ask yourself, like, if you had no limitations, if you had no fears, if money wasn't a problem for you, if nothing was holding you back, what do you actually want your life to look like? And take some time to actually think about that, because once you actually have clarity on that, it's going to put you in a position where now you know what you want in your life. Now it's a question of, okay, am I willing to do what's required to make that a reality for me? And no matter how big your goals are, no matter how scary it might seem for you to achieve that, just know that it is possible. And you have to believe in yourself, because that's the first step to succeeding, is first believing in yourself. Second is taking raw action and aligning with your habits, your behaviors, whatever you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, aligning that with the person you want to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, not the person you are now. Because if you behave how you've been behaving and how you currently behave, how do you expect to actually see progress in your life and start to change and become a new version of yourself? You need to sit down and analyze the version of you that's already living the life you want to live, already making X amount of money, has X amount of kids, family, businesses, property, can fly around the world whenever they want to, right? That version of you, whatever that may be for you, right? You need to align yourself with that version of you now and behave how that version of you would behave. And ask yourself, if you were genuinely that person right now, what exactly would you be doing on a daily basis? And if we were all honest with each other, you know what that version of you would be doing. They wouldn't waste time scrolling on social media. They wouldn't waste time playing PlayStation. They wouldn't waste time going to parties and drinking and doing drugs, and you know and a lot of people will see that as, oh, that's, you can't live a life like that. You need work life balance. Well, here's the thing, right? If you want an extraordinary life, you can't expect to live an ordinary life and behave like ordinary people, because you're going to end up ordinary. And if that's what you want, that's fine, right? That's why I said it's all about firstly understanding what you want out of your life. Don't sell yourself short though. Don't say that you don't want anything out of life and you're okay with where you are because you're masking your fear and you're scared of going out and actually putting your goals out there to the universe. If you actually want to achieve something, be honest with yourself and work towards it, because that's when you're going to feel most fulfilled and most proud about yourself, your progress, your life. And it's all about aligning yourself, and doing what you know you should be doing and getting rid of any limiting beliefs, because that'll hold you back, you know, that'll really hold you back. So that was a long tangent I went off on, but I hope it is helpful. I feel like it would be helpful for at least one person watching this. So if I help someone, that's my I'll feel good about that. I like to help people. I like to help people that want to be helped. A lot of people, they they act like they want help and guidance and uh, a path to follow, but deep down inside they don't actually want the help. You know, but the people that do actually want help and are prepared to take action on their goals and become the person they want to be deep down inside, those are the people I actually like helping. And those are the people I always will have time for. Well, not always, but I'm always prepared to make time for those kinds of people, because I know that what I help them with, they're actually going to put the work in to do it, as opposed to just acting like they want help and then don't ever do anything about it. And then 5 years later, they wonder why they're stuck in the same position. So hopefully this video was good. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's where we're at in the journey so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. As always, if you want to follow my journey a bit closer, make sure to follow my social media. The links will be below in the description. So I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you achieve everything you want to in your life. And I'll be rooting for you every step of the way. Bye.